So let's see what we can learn from this point between Stefanos Tsitsipas and Rafa Nadal. Now, this video is courtesy of Zen Rackets on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to their awesome channel. I've put their link in the description below. All right, let's watch the point in its entirety, and then we'll analyze it. Now, this is a practice point at Indian Wells, and even though that point was short, it was actually longer than 70% of the points on the Pro Tour. 70% of pro points are 4 shots or less. They're either 4 shots or less, right? So you want to be really good at the short points because they make up the bulk of the points that you're going to play. And this was actually 5 shots. So it was the serve, that's 1. The return is 2. Tsitsipas 3, Nadal 4, Tsitsipas 5. So that was 5 shots. So that's longer than 70% of the points that you're going to play. So let's look at the serve. Tsitsipas hits a T. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. A T serve. Now, one thing that I've made videos on this, and I would recommend that you start focusing on this idea, is after you hit strong serves, right? You wouldn't want to do this on a weak serve, but when you hit a really strong serve, get in the habit of moving over so that you can hit more forehands, right? So this is what I call the rectangle square idea, where the court, you don't want to think of the court as cut in half, where all of these are your backhand and all of these are your forehand. That's if you're right-handed. I call it the rectangle square idea, where here is the backhands and here is the forehands. You can see that the middle line, let me draw the middle line. The middle line is like this. You would think like, oh, what's the big deal? That little extra area right there, does that really make a difference? Yes. If a ball lands in the rectangle, it's a forehand, and only if it's in this square is it a backhand. And we see Tsitsipas do that. Hits a strong serve. Nadal reaches over and just blocks the ball back, which is not a bad idea to do against really strong servers, right? You can just block the ball like a volley. But Tsitsipas moves around it, and he makes it a forehand. Now, let's look at this move that he made. This is really fun. I love doing these points. I hope you really enjoy watching this. But look where Tsitsipas is right now. I'm going to circle his feet. I want you to look at how he moved into position for this shot. Look how he goes back behind the baseline and then comes forward in again. So this is so cool. He goes back and then in. And the reason is he wants his momentum going forward because he's planning on going forward as he hits this ball. What he wouldn't want to do is just go straight across because then his momentum's carrying him this way. So he's actually going back a little bit so he can go forward to this point. That way he's farther in when he's going forward to the net. He's already in his mind planned on going forward. And that's the whole reason he's moving around the ball, is he's trying to hit a really strong shot, a shot stronger than he would with his backhand. So he's trying to move around it, and he's planning on going to the net, and that's exactly what you see him do. There's no hesitation. He hits, and he immediately starts moving forward. Let's see his follow-through, by the way. Oh, look at that. Over-the-shoulder follow-through. I wouldn't necessarily say over the shoulder, but maybe it's next to the shoulder. All right, so I love that. That's good. Please don't follow through down to your left hip if you're right-handed. Go at least where Tsitsipas is right here. And you look at Nadal, Nadal goes above his head all the time with these shots. So the more you swing up, the more the ball's going to spin down. You're going to get consistency. Let's see how deep his ball lands, by the way. Not incredibly deep, like right on the baseline, but it absolutely is very far behind the service line, which is great. So Nadal's going over. Nadal hits what's called a Mogul Stance. So you can see that he gets into an open stance. So look at Nadal here. He's hitting a backhand. That's his right side. But look how he moves in a Mogul Stance. So this is where he's open. And the reason he's doing that is he's trying to rotate his hips, and open stance is so great in rotating his hips. He's able to move quickly through this, but he's like a skier moguling. His feet are in an open stance. He hits and his feet are again in an open stance, keeping his feet under his upper body as he's moving. Now, let's talk about the split step. So I would say the vast majority of tennis players know to split step, but don't split step. I want you to watch Tsitsipas right now. Don't even worry about the timing of the split step. We'll talk about that in a couple seconds here. But let's look at just the act of his split step. Look at the move that he's making. Love it. He's landing on the front half of his foot, right? You can see his knees are bent, feet are super wide. He's able to move in all four directions, no matter the shot that Nadal's going to hit. But now let's talk about the actual timing of the split step. What you want to do is be in the air as the opponent makes contact with the ball. So let's go to the moment Nadal makes contact, which is let's get it right on. Right there, we'll say, is the contact. Look at Tsitsipas. He's in the air. That is the correct timing on the split step. And that's return of serve, going to the net during a rally. I don't care. You're at the net. It doesn't matter. You want to be in the air as the opponent makes contact. And the reason is there is delay in our reaction time. And that delay, correct me if I'm wrong, and you can feel free to in the comments below, but I have a feeling, right, that I've read that visually our reaction time is somewhere around 0.25 seconds. That it takes us about a quarter of a second to even process what our eyes see. It's different than when we touch like a hot burner on the stove or when we hear something. Our eyes are actually quite slow compared to those two other ways of receiving information. So what we actually want to do is be in the air as the opponent hits the ball so that the time it takes for us to actually land is the time needed for our brain to go, oh, now I know where to go, so that the moment we land, we get that energy, we're stretching our legs, and then we can move in any direction. You don't want to be landing as your opponent hits. You actually want to be in the air as the opponent hits. A nice way I explain it to my students is think of when your opponent makes contact with the ball, that an electric shock for, 3-4 milliseconds zaps the court. Well, it wouldn't take you very long to be in the air off the court to not get shocked or zapped, like bzz, right? Like zapped by that electricity. It wouldn't take you very long because you wouldn't want to keep getting shocked. So you'd be in the air as they hit to not get shocked for those 3 or 4 milliseconds that the ball is touching your opponent's racket. So I think that's a nice little way to think of it. Now, Nadal here, this is pretty cool. Nadal doesn't go for the pass. He doesn't go for the lob. He actually just hits it right to Tsitsipas, which I'm a big fan of. Now, I'm sure he meant to hit it low, and that's actually what you want to do. Whether you spin the ball, whether you just aim low, whether you just don't hit it very hard and you let gravity bring the ball down, whatever it is, it's in your best interest to get that ball below net level, forcing your opponent to either mess up the volley or pop it up, and then when they pop it up, you can come in and go for the pass. Now, he ends up hitting it right to Nadal, but he does not get the ball low enough. Now, this is awesome. Tsitsipas has the exact situation he wants. By the way, notice there's his split step, and notice immediately he gets his body facing off to the right. He's getting his body to the right because that's the side of the body where he's going to make contact. Now, 2 potential places he can make this ball go. He is not going to make the ball go to the left corner, of course, because Nadal's already over there. If Nadal was maybe here or even here and going this way, then maybe he would wrong foot him. But he's too far over. There's no need to wrong foot. We know he's going to hit the ball this direction. So he's either going to hit the ball short, where the ball is going to land in the service box, or deep, where he's going to make the ball land near the baseline. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think he should do, right? The correct answer here is short. You want to make the ball land short because you want the ball to be as far away from the Nadal as possible. So watch where Tsitsipas hits this volley. He hits the volley, and it lands right here. The ball lands in the service box. By making the ball land in the service box and then the second bounce, let's see where the second bounce is. Even the second bounce is still in front of the baseline. It's way too far away from Nadal. Nadal has no chance of getting that. And again, he wasn't trying to hit it hard and make it cross the baseline. He's trying to take speed off and make the ball actually leave using the sideline. All right, let's watch this point one more time. Now, before we watch it, don't forget that if you're looking for new people in your local area to play against, practice with, or even find a coach who's going to help you analyze and work on your match strategy, then use my link in the description, playyourcourt.com/2minute tennis. And when you use my link, you get 50% off when you join. So be sure to film your matches, review the footage, your footwork, your strategy, see what you can improve on. And if you do, there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.